Thank you, Chair. Before I start, I'd like to present that the ETC group is closely working with the Women Major Group, and also we are in the advisory group of the Asia-Pacific Regional CSO Engagement Mechanism, or RCEM. Since my colleague, I know that he will be focusing on the financing part, having known him from the region for a long time. As he says, we're actually childhood friends in this work. My intervention will be focusing mainly on technology. And I have actually kindly requested that the chair to give me some extra minutes since there are only two of us in the panel. So asking for your generosity. Today, we live in a world where 67 richest individuals own wealth equal to the poorest 3.5 billion people, where 2/3 of the 774 million adult illiterates are women. The game that breeds this obscene inequality in wealth and access to opportunities must be changed. This is the serious challenge that lay before the post-2015 development agenda. Technology is partly responsible for this grossly unequal and divided world. As much as 80% of recent economic growth can be credited to technological change, but has overwhelmingly benefited the wealthiest sectors in the North. On the other hand, technology is a key enabler to sustainable development and has the potential to be a game changer. Technology, in fact, plays a role in attaining each of the SDGs and will have a crucial role in delivering the post-2015 development agenda. A transformative development agenda should ensure that an increasing share of beneficial technological changes takes place within and for developing countries. The South should have facilitated and fair access to the best of proven, environmentally sound, and socially appropriate technologies. Gender and equity aspects related to technology access, development, and transfer must be addressed. Indigenous and endogenous technologies for ecologically sustainable, culturally appropriate, and socially just development must be strengthened. It's a shame that the sparse recommendations on technology that received the consensus of member states in the PGA's technology dialogues last year, nor those more thorough offered by the UNSG in his synthesis report, will not change the game, where the haves, mainly to the private sector, transfer their technologies, including harmful ones, to the have-nots for a price. These sets of recommendations fall short of realizing the global technology facilitation mechanism that was envisioned in the world we want. An enabling environment for technology is important, but private sector-led market approaches cannot deliver the ambitions of the SDGs. The world urgently needs a global technology facilitation mechanism that is based on a transformative vision of technology as a means to bridge horizontal and vertical inequalities, ensure access to basic resources, and serve as means to serve the needs of disadvantaged sectors, especially women. Technology should not remain as a means to further monopolize knowledge, amass more profits, and marginalize those who cannot afford to pay. It must stand on equitable economic and social structures to be an effective means to attain development justice. The dominant model of technology transfer that masked market expansion for new and old technologies of the North needs to be challenged. The development and promotion of endogenous technologies and the recognition of the capacity to develop innovations in the South are strategically important and should be defended fiercely in SDG 9. Currently, the total global public and private sector investment in research and development is over $1 trillion. More than 90% of the research is focused on particular needs of advanced economies, including their military ventures and misadventures, but bring few products that are accessible to or useful for the poor in both the North and the South. Sadly, current R&D follows where the money is, and innovators are often only accountable to shareholders, but not to society. This must change. R&D must be channeled to address development challenges in food production, disaster reduction, education, nutrition, and health in environmentally sound, culturally appropriate, and socially just manner towards ending poverty, with special attention to the needs of women. While women remain a minority in hard technology areas such as engineering, it is not an excuse for coming up with technologies that are designed only for men, since women do nearly half of rural labor. Vital to unleashing the power of technology as a means to attain sustainable development is ownership and control. Existing IPR regimes build monopolies that reap profits for a few rather than address poverty and inequality that marginalize the many. When 6 giant corporations control 53% of the global seed market and 75% of the agrochemical market in the face of the climate crisis that threatens the survival of the poorest, serious doubts must be raised on whether providing incentives for innovation serves the common good. This situation needs to be recognized and addressed. Any partnership on research, development, demonstration, and diffusion of new technologies should involve the direct participation of civil society and communities, be solution-driven, and under transparent and accountable governance. While the increasing role of South-South technology cooperation has been recognized, this should not be seen as a substitute for North-South cooperation. North-South and triangular technology transfer should transform into strategic cooperation in enhancing the capacity of the South to innovate and develop its own technologies. Just yesterday, the World Economic Forum, in its Global Risk 2015, urged the need for global governance of emerging technologies in view of their many uncertainties and far-reaching economic, societal, and environmental implications. The need to enable developing countries to assess technologies based on the precautionary principle, identify unsustainable technologies, and protect people from adverse consequences of technologies is already recognized at Rio Plus 20, but has yet to materialize. We need not wait for negative effects of technology to become too serious to ignore, as with asbestos, nuclear pollution, or fracking, when it is already too late to undo the harm done or make the culprits accountable for the damages caused. Technologies that have potential to damage the Earth system, such as geoengineering, must be banned. The active participation of women, not as passive users of technology, and potentially affected sectors in decision-making through all stages of technology development, including technology assessment, is critical. These are indispensable elements of the technology pillar of a transformative development agenda. True, attaining sustainable development in the post-2015 era will require the full use of science, technology, and innovation. But that will only happen if these means are people-oriented, inclusive, gender-fair, participatory, and have development justice at the core. Thank you.